guys, and welcome to the Become Your Magic Power Hour. It is Monday. It is 12:01. I am a minute late, but nonetheless, I am here. And this has been a great weekend. I'm so excited about hiring myself on Wednesday. And so we're going to talk about what it means to hire yourself. What is the 30-day challenge that many people are signing up for? And I'm super excited because let me tell you, it is going to be a game changer. I know it's going to be the foundation of, who we will become, what we will do. Hello, Queen. How are you doing? So I want us to be super intentional in this season because we are really building up our legacies. We are really building up that mindset, that idea, that dream, right? And so what we need to do is really structure and really pay close attention. And so we're going to talk more about what it means to hire yourself, how important it is for you to decide what area of your life you want to improve, you want momentum in, you want quality in, and in 30 days, you're going to hire yourself at 40 hours a week as if you were being hired for anybody else's job. So we're going to learn about disciplining ourselves. We're going to learn about actually coming through on the dream at hand. And so everybody's starting point is definitely going to be different. It is really about what area of your life you are trying to work on, what you want to improve, because you imagine that when somebody hires you, they are only hiring you to further the dream that they have for themselves, right? Because any job that we're on is started as a dream. Somebody's seed of thoughts, somebody's imagination saying, I can start this health company. I can start this law firm. I can start this practice, right? I can do whatever it is, I can open up a Walmart. I can open up a Target. I can open up a McDonald's, right? Franchise things too. So that's somebody's dream multiplied, right? And every day in any one of these businesses that I've named, these people show up every single day in order to keep the momentum going. They show up every single day in order to what? Follow through on whatever it is that the vision of that person or business or whatever job position they get into. So Becoming Your Magic Power Hour is where we meet here from Monday through Friday at 12, from 12 to 1. If you are meeting here in the actually, I have to share it in my groups. So I'm only on my page, my YouTube page, which is I Choose Me, #No More Excuses. Please subscribe. I have not nurtured that page as I should. I've had it for years. And so in this season, I am clocking into me. And so I'm being very intentional about everything that I'm doing. So it's not just sitting there being forgotten about, but that I am nurturing it and taking care of it. And so this is what Becoming Your Magic Power is hours all about. It's about getting a daily charge up, right? A refill, that's the word. Getting a daily refill, because every day we plug in our phones in order for it to get charged up and function on the capability and the capacity that it was designed to do, right? And so we all know that when our battery is running low, we can't do the same things. When your battery is on 7%, honey, you can't FaceTime as long as you could if it was on 90, right? So you don't have all the same amount of power in each thing if you're not sourced up, plugged in, refilled. And so understanding that this power hour is about me being connected to the source, as we all are, and we feed each other, right? And so however God stirs me, because I'm the soul coach, so I'm going to prophetically try to hear whatever God is saying so that we can move and shift, because it's all about our seeds of thought. So I call it the Become Your Magic Power Hour, is because after I set in all the things that I dreamed of, all the things that I imagined, and all the things that I desired, what I realized is that I am my own magic. You are your own magic. So everything that we wanted in life, everything that we actually got in life was because we decided to show up in that supernatural force that is us. And so magic is just a supernatural force. Abracadabra, this is the word that we use if you are following or if you are new to this. When we say abracadabra, what we're saying is, this is the moment that brought me to my magic. And so all the different choices that we make daily, the decisions to be happy, the decisions to put ourselves in good company, this decision to follow our dream, right? To become trustworthy to ourselves, to become our very own best friend. Those choices that we make are the moments of those abracadabras that create that becoming your magic, that magical moment when somebody think you just arrived, right? Because people always think that you just came in overnight. People always think that something like just happened to you. No, nothing just happened. You happened to it. You saw that moment. You made a decision in a time frame. You decided that I wasn't going to be stuck in that pain anymore. I was going to get up. You decided that you were going to be the solution to somebody's problem because of what you did or what you went through or what you know to be so. You decided to become your own magic. You decided to get up. You decided to go to school. You decided to parent the way you did. You decided to run after your dreams the way you did, right? And so everything we do is because of a decision that was made. And the decision starts with that relationship, that trust relationship, and being powered up in order to function at that capacity. So how you show up, that light that you bring, is that source that people get in order to keep on moving, keep on pressing, right? I have to refill this cup every time I get thirsty. So it's a refill. And so the relationships that we keep, the conversations that we have, the who that we are is what we're carrying in our jar. And so we never pour it up. We can't get new stuff. You can't get new ideas. You can't get new dreams. You can't get new anything until you begin to use what's already in your cup. And so being able to understand that, seeing yourself and loving yourself and being in the room with yourself. I mean, really in the room with yourself by loving every piece of it, every piece of you, every part of your world, and deciding that if there are some changes that I want, then guess what? I have the power to make them. If there's some changes that I desire, then I have the power to make that happen. Hey, cousin, I love you. I love you, video. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. I got you. I got you. But yeah, we really have to be super intentional. Super, super intentional. And now I got to be intentional and find the video so that I can share it, because as I said, I'm not in my bling boutique today. So I know they're probably like, is Precious on today? So let me share it into that group. Make sure that if you are not a part of the I Choose Me Bling Boutique, please, please, please join, be a part of. Here we go. Look, I tell you, I get easily distracted. I gotta be all over the place, right? So like I said, don't forget to join the I Choose Me group. It is a boutique where you can get first dibs on anything you see. I always post in there first when something comes out, and a lot of stuff never even makes it to the website because this is a one-of-a-kind line. And so I don't want a lot of it. I want you to stand out when you wear my stuff. When you wear I Choose Me, first of all, this logo, you can't get anywhere but here. Why? Because I branded myself. I own myself. That R makes it mine. So if you want to walk around with the logo that says, I mean, we do it for Gucci, we do it for Nike, that's their dream. And what's behind it is what you buy into, right? Well, what I've worked for so many years to do is to brand the self-love initiative so that when you wear I Choose Me, you are wearing yourself. You are representing the light that is you. You get to say that I looked myself in the eye, I looked myself in the mirror, and I loved on me. Not only did I love on me, but I decided to show up because I can, because that is my birthright. And so we learned that the real birthright is to see ourselves from right where we are. It is to love ourselves and look at ourselves with all of our scars and understand that those scars are what make you the light in somebody else's darkness. Those valleys are why you get to look from the mountaintop and say, look at what I've done. Look at who I became. Abracadabra, y'all. Look at the magic that is me because I made a choice in every moment to show up for me first. I made a choice to be around people who love me, who lifted me, who saw my light when the world didn't, right? That was a decision that you make. You make a decision to show up in joy by not concentrating on a negative. That is a decision that we make. You make a decision to see yourself in the way that God sees you and not get stuck in other people's opinion of you. That is a decision that you make. It is disciplining yourself to not get caught up in what it took for you to be perfect. We have a whole lot of imperfect acts that creates the perfect God piece, because every time that you hit rock bottom was for you to learn something to what? Be a solution to somebody else. I didn't send you for your roles and titles. I sent you on assignment. And the reason we're not fulfilling our assignment is because we are not recognizing that those very things that we claim shame to are the things that give us our wings. It is the things that allow us to go from caterpillar to butterfly. It is the beauty in the colors that people can't even understand, because until you tell your story, God will never get the glory. But in order for us to make the light that we are vibrant and felt before we can even open our mouth, is to be real in love and like with who you are, to favor your whole journey by plugging into the people who are going to remind you that God still sees you, that is going to remind you that God still loves you, right? Because you know that if you're in the room, that eventually is going to rub off on you. So what is it that we are around? What is it that we are thinking about? What are the seeds of thought that we are connected to that is stopping us from living in our Dharma? A word that I was just talking with William and Melissa. We have a great show on Sunday mornings at 11, one-word conversations, but Dharma is your reality. And so we create our reality by the seeds of thought that we choose to believe in, right? Those faith that into works. We spend more time being faithful over the destruction of our minds instead of the elevation of us, right? We spend more time in the crucifixion and not enough time in the resurrection, right? And so we can cry over what we went through, but we don't celebrate enough that we got through it, right? And so it's about changing our perspective in order to value the lessons, what it cost us to be as valuable as we are today. You have value because of what it cost you to stand in that position. And so I don't want us to waste our time. And so this thing that we're going through is about to be about us clocking into us hiring ourselves. I cannot wait to break it down, because we're about that mark. We at 15 minutes, we go into the topic. I'm just going all over. Hello, Jamel. Blessing Queens. Love you. I love you too. How are you doing? So good to see you on, right? That's right. Okay, Mr. Blackwell. I guess you were feeling me. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate your time. Good afternoon, sis. Sorry I'm late. I was wrapping up a science lesson. Come on now. That's what makes us so great. It's not when you show up, it's that you showed up. Come on now. It's not when you showed up, but it's that you showed up. And God wants us to show up. He wants us to show up. He wants us to recognize that it's in your showing up. And so I have created what is it? A good plan, basically, a foolproof plan. Is that the phrase I'm looking for? A foolproof plan in order for us to really see what it means to hire ourselves. So I want you to go with me on this one. Okay, wait a minute. We got a little bit more time. Let me share this last thing to my page, and I can be focused on the 15-minute mark. Uplift Her. I cannot forget to send it to the Uplift Her group. I love that group. Anyway, as I was saying, we are now running to that 15-minute mark where we're going to have this conversation. I want you guys to participate. I want us to understand that in moving forward, we all have something very special. I was just telling my husband today that the beauty of the internet is that it's God. Internet is God to me. You know why the internet is God to me? Because it is omnipresent. It allows you to be in so many places at the same time, right? And so the question is, what is the vision? What is the gift? What is the thing that God gave me that he has now given me access to, right, with the internet, to have the power, right? We are all God pieces, and we multiply. We infect the world, right, with that piece that is us. We actually decide how somebody sees words. Depending on the mom you are, that's how somebody see the word mom, right? We are the representation of the evidence and the emotion connected to the words that people see when they look at you. The dad you are, the brother you are, the sister you are, the mother you are, and everybody's perspective is different. And so what we're trying to do, what our goal is to really fall in love with ourselves in order to fall in like with ourselves. I believe the way we do that is to hire ourselves for our own dreams. Did you hear me? Hire ourselves for our own dreams. So I want you to go with me, because I'm about to start on Wednesday. This is my first time doing it. This will be the foundation of my brand ambassador course that I've been working on, because I want to be the evidence, right? And so I had all these other pieces. So now this is the last piece to see what it looks like to actually build momentum in the things that you desire. So I thought about, for years, I always say check into you and clock into you. And just recently, 3 weeks ago, when God gave me the idea to do the Become Your Magic Power Hour and what it meant to become your magic and being the evidence of who he is and so on and so forth, the next thing that I thought about was, we have dreams, right? And faith without works is dead, right? And I went through all of that, and how the leg works is you moving in action after God said yes and gave you permission. What's next? And now here is the kicker. The kicker is, when you go to get a job, right? They ask you the qualifications, right? They know there was a position that needs to be filled, and they need it to create a momentum so that they can further along the dream, the desire, the vision that they had for the company when they started, right? So you fulfill a need, right? You become a solution. Now, when they hire you, they ask you, first of all, they're going to ask you, they want to know what makes you qualify for this position. So let's say we're talking about ourselves. If you are financially fit, and that's not the area of your life that you need to work on. Maybe you have mastered abundance, you have your money, that is all good. So your idea is, I need to have more quality time with my family. Right? We are in the season of pandemic. We are in the season of isolation. We are in the season of quality over quantity. Can y'all hear me? Quality over quantity. Because we find many of us can say we have 10 friends, but when the stuff hits the fan, we don't have one to call. So that means you have quantity, but you have no quality. And so God is isolating us in this pandemic so that we can have quality over quantity, that there's a value in being one of a kind, right? Because quality is the fullness of it. Quantity is the number attached to it. And so being one of a kind is nothing but quality. It has nothing to do with quantity. It's not a numbers game. It is a full game. It is an intentional game. It is an infectious game that brings nothing but leveling up, right? And so if you are in the area where you're saying, I have that a part of my life down, but I want to be able to love different, right? I want to be able to fall back in love with my mate. Come on now. How many people are in relationships and the pandemic taught you that, oh my God, I barely like to be around my mate? Because that has been going unseen, unnoticed, unnurtured, right? So you're going to hire yourself in your relationship part. So that means that I'm going to designate how many days a week you want to work on your relationship. Every day. Every single day, because it's important. It is the thing that gets you to everything else, right? So if I want to work on my relationship every single day, then guess what I'm going to do? I am going to set time aside. They don't just say come in when you want. They set time aside so you don't get distracted by the day and miss out on the job at hand. See, because there are 720 hours in a month, we get distracted by the hours, 24 hours a day, that we kind of waste a good portion of the time we've been given. So now I'm going to say that 2 hours a day I'm going to spend with my love. I'm going to make sure that now 2 hours a day gives you 4 hours left to clock into you. Still, So it doesn't mean that it's all like work, like you're getting in the idea like, oh, hire myself. I got to go to work. I hate to go to work. No, you're going to enjoy it because this is the job that you love. This is the job of your dreams. This is the place you want to tell them how to implement certain strategies. This is when you get to be the boss. How many times have you worked for somebody and said, man, if they would let me put my hand on it, if they would just listen to me at the meeting. You're fighting to be heard in somebody else's dream, and God has given you a dream to fight for yourself for. That was training in order to fight for you. And some of us work forever with that emptiness because there is more, because everybody doesn't want to have their own business, but everybody wants a quality of life. They want abundance. They want their, as Oprah would say, they want their life to rise up and meet them. We all want that. And so the question is, what is it that you desire? And how can you implement a program, a strategy? Come on now, because he said, write the vision and make it plain. So we got visions, but we got no plans. Write the vision and make it plain. We have vision, but we have no plans. And so I realized that we get 30 days out of 30 days in a month. God gives us 720 hours. How many hours, when you sit and think about that, have you wasted? And I don't mean waste in the sense that there's no value in what you've given to everybody else. I mean wasted in the idea that if I continue to pour into everybody else, where would that leave me? That leaves me empty. So if I decide to hire myself first and I pour into me, and I overflow. I'm not going to do that on the table here, but you can only imagine that if I kept on pouring into this cup, that overflow would be what everybody else gets, which is more than enough. But guess what? I'm not robbing myself of my dreams. I'm not bitter, but I'm better. See, because we are watching everybody else's dream come into fruition, because we have disciplined ourselves to show up for everything and everybody else, we begin to feel drained in our own life, and we get bitter about our realities, our dharma. I love that word now. Thank you, William. You guys gave me a new word. Our dharma, because you think of karma, right? Dharma is reality, and karma is what you put in back into the world. It comes back. So actually, it complements itself, as we were saying, right, Melissa? That dharma and karma complements itself, because the question is, what are you infecting the world with, and what is coming back to you 10 times over, 7 times over? And knowing that at any position in your life, you can fire yourself and rehire yourself. You can fire those old ways of thinking and rehire a new way of thinking in order to get to the new line. Because when a job no longer serves you, when the money doesn't sound the same, and what you have to offer, you don't feel like you're getting your value back, what do? We quit, we leave it. But why in our lives that doesn't rise up, which we have the power to change and implement any type of structure, do we feel like we can't do it? We feel incompetent. That's the word. We feel more incompetent in the thing that is us than we do in the vision that somebody is giving you to understand. You should overstand your position and only understand where they're coming from, because you got to kind of see from their vision, from their perspective. And so giving ourselves 40 hours a week, however that looks, is increasing that part of your life that you desire. And so I want you to decide, what is the one part? What is the most important part right now? Starting from today, if I was to grade my life, what area of my life do I need to improve so that I can concentrate? So this is like giving yourself a salary job, because at the end, you're going to add up the value, the cost, see what you got as a return. So nobody can create your qualifications. You have to decide what you want, and then what qualities do you need? And then you have to show up in it consciously, disciplining yourself. So make a calendar. I'm going to have to make a calendar, because let me tell you, I am the most easily distracted person you could imagine. They will tell you, I'll be on my way to one thing and do 10 other things and get nothing done. So how can I feel like I can complete something if I've never completed anything? And so when we start things and don't finish is an incompletion. That's why when they hire you, they say, some people have worked on the same job doing the same thing for years. They never stopped investing that momentum in that time because they needed a solution. So if you worked at something and then you walk away, then it's going to start to die back down. That's why you go to work every day. That's why you commit to 40 hours. And if they can give you some overtime, we kill ourselves with overtime just to get time and a half back. What can you get in your life? How full can your life be if you are intentional about how you are showing up in it, how you are multiplying it? And so, like I said, on Wednesday is when I'm starting. And so I am cleaning up my loose ends because, when they say, when you get to a job, they say, well, when do you want to start working? And you're like, yesterday. That would be you. There's no time. I don't tell you when to start your own job. You're hiring yourself. Nobody knows when is the best time for you to show up for you than you. But I do urge you to not procrastinate. I am the queen of procrastination. So I only imagine that if I would do stuff in a more timely fashion, what the results could be, right? So when I look at it in 30 days, and I think about, let's just say, if I think about what I've done today, and I realize that a lot of my stuff that I get complete, I always give myself a deadline. And she probably never starts until the week of the deadline. I don't know what that is. So I'm not good at planning. I think it's only because I've always kind of ran my own hours. Like when I was younger, I did hair. I was always doing locks. I was an entrepreneur then. Then I moved down here. I relocated. I maybe worked a little bit in the beginning when I first got met my husband, had a baby, got married. Then I was home. And so I basically planned my own schedule, but I didn't plan a schedule. I was in the moment. When they were hungry, they ate. When I needed to get them to learn something, they learned. When I had to body train them. So I rose to every occasion, but I never prepared for it like I could have. So I only imagine how much further I could be if I was intentional about the hours I was given. God says that we are the church and that we should give the church 10%. So when I thought about it, he gives us 720 hours. So 40 hours a week is giving the church 10%, giving you 10%, 10% of peace in your mind, 10% of love in your house, 10% more of abundance if it's financial, making sure that if you got products and services that you are your number one marketer. I have to market myself. I took the time to write the books, to create the brand, and now you got to sell the product. So now you're just holding inventory. So I have to designate time to what? To do that, to be intentional, right? So like I said, depending on what it is that you're trying to improve, pick a thing. No, don't pick too many things. Because then we begin working in that multitasking type of mentality and we get nothing done. Right? What is that saying? What is it? The jack of all trades, but the master of none, right? So you could do a million things, but nothing is complete. You want quality. If you're gonna start a business, have quality. Make sure you're honorable in your word. When you give somebody a deadline, you meet that deadline. You treat people how you want to be treated. You are intentional with the value that is you, right? Because you're building hearts, you're building hope. And so make sure that you are the company, or you're becoming the thing that you would want to invest in. And so we got to become qualified before we're sitting in positions, right? And so this is qualifying us for our dreams, realizing that, we get to choose it. We get to decide our reality. We get to make it look like what it is going to look like. We get to empower ourselves. We get to see exactly what we want, and then we get to make it happen. We get to make it work. How do we make it work? Come on now. We're at the part of the hour where we talk about the no excuses, right? Because how we make it work is not having excuses. Not having excuses. Understanding that I understand that God has no respects of person. What makes somebody else 24 hours different than yours? How you chose to spend it. What makes somebody else's dream different from yours? How they chose to show up. You are just as special. You are just as important. You are just as valuable as the person that you're looking at. As the store. So if you have a dream to start a line, start a line. Find out how to do it. Clock into you. Check into your dreams. So that you can build that legacy. But the legacy of joy and of happiness. If you're going to that job that you love every day, I know some people that love their jobs, love where they are, well, actually what they are bringing their best part to, right? When people are coming to get soul coach and they're nervous because they're wanting to start a job, I always tell them when we're in that soul coaching session, listen, remember when you go on a job interview that they are lucky to have you. They are not interviewing you. You are interviewing them. That is the confidence you have when you sit in that seat. Because guess what? You have family. You got, and anywhere that job moves you is the energy you're going to bring back to your sanctuary. So while you are trying to be somebody else to fit in their mold, you need to make sure that they understand who you are so that they can appreciate what you're bringing, that you bring value to their dream because of who you are. And so that mindset, going to a job that has you stressed out, right? The postal worker, right? They think there was always a jokes about, oh, going postal. But the question is, you still bring that energy somewhere. And so loving where you're at, right, is key because it's going to dictate the energy that you bring into the room, into your homes, the joy, how people see you, the evidence of God's love, right, of God's love. And so this 30-day challenge of hiring yourself is going to bring fullness to every part of your life, especially the part of you that you forgot about. We are 720 hours. Can you tell yourself how many hours you got last month of those hours? I mean, really, whether you went to meditate, oh, that's key. And I don't want you to time yourself in meditation. I don't want you to say, oh, I'm going to meditate from 8 to 9, because that's not authentic. I want you to clock in, know what time you went in, and then when you come back out, just figure out the time, and then you can see how much time you took in that space. We need to stop trying to predict what time or how much time God needs with us for us to get to ourselves. We just need to feel the moment, be in the moment. It may be 5 minutes that you needed to fill yourself up to be able to do a 7-hour for yourself, right? It may be 2 hours that you needed on that particular day to be more of yourself tomorrow. It really depends on you, but you got to be in that space to welcome freedom. So he wants you to have freedom in your choices, but be intentional about what it is you're looking on the outside. He can multiply your intentions, so you got to start with one. He can multiply your dream, but you got to have one. How can God show you the magic that is you and how much power you have if you don't start with something for you to recognize he multiplied? I'm able to see my gifts sometimes through other people's eyes, because a long time I was missing where I got to, because I was so far off into where I saw myself going. And so I lacked appreciation for the arrival that I was having every single day. Sometimes we lack appreciation for our arrivals because we aren't spending that intimate, right? That intimate time. It's an inside job. And so hiring yourself over these next 30 days will allow you to begin the inside work. It would allow you to create new habits of seeing yourself first. Why? Because the roles and titles are one thing, but the impact you leave, that is legacy. That is the soul print. That is the perfect piece. That is the thing that makes you the light in somebody else's darkness. Right? You help somebody find their switch when you clock into you. When you discipline yourself for you. We discipline ourselves for everybody else. When are we going to discipline ourselves for ourselves and give ourselves that 10% that God has allotted to us? We have let months and years go by of not even fulfilling a portion of our cup and continuously living on empty when we are the power source. We should never feel drained when we are power, when He gave us the choices to ignite our power. He gave us the relationships to see our worth. So we got to keep on tapping into that, and we got to be able to see that we're worth the job. We're worth hiring ourselves. We can trust ourselves with our own dreams. We can do it by one step at a time, one day at a time. So if like me, you want to work 7 days out of the week, that's less than 6 hours a day. This is an hour right now that I'm getting credit for. I got 5 left, right? I'm going to go later. I'm going to make a conscious decision to go live later. I'm going to make a conscious decision to write down I got flyers to do. I got my course to start. So it will make me not wait until the last minute, because like I was saying in the beginning, I can get stuff done right before the deadline, but I only imagine how much more I would have got if I started 30 days sooner. If I had broken it down day by day. Because if I was able to get that finish line at the finish line, what if I had that momentum the whole time? I would have multiplied every single week in my life. So as you go into somebody else's world and you serve them and you feed them, God is saying, I ask that you would feed you first, because I choose me is going VIP. It's getting a seat at God's feet. It's saying that I'm here to get full on the desires that you have for me, the vision that you have for me, the solution that you made of me, the answer that I was called to be. And that in that intention, I'm going to walk closer to the finish line by being intentional, being conscious, and by making a plan. By taking those different sayings and those Bible verses that we just love to say and quote, but don't actually embody them. To have faith without works is dead. We read it, we say it all the time, and then we have faith and we have no proof of works. And then we think that we've been forsaken. But the thing is that we've forsaken ourselves, because He said, I sent you here enough. I've given you 720 hours a month. And somewhere along the line, you thought that I wanted you to give it all away. And now you're coming to me for more, and I already gave you more than enough. Use the oil that you have. Go out and pour. Find as many souls to touch. And then I will multiply you as long as you have vessels. So what is the thing that is you? So that you can go out and serve that great gift, so that God can multiply your impact in the world, so that He can multiply a healthy infection, so that you can shine in the darkness, because you are the evidence of what it looked like to become your magic. Because every day I chose to allow that vision to be plain, for me to walk in it, for me to decide it, for me to be real with it. And so, like I said, we are at, let me see. We got some comments because look, that was already past 15 minutes of the topic. So I'm hoping that you guys get the idea and the mission behind I Hire Myself challenge. I want to challenge you to hire you for your dreams. The dream of a happy home, the dream of getting that stuff. Maybe you just have a dream of saying, listen, I get no stuff done around this house because I'm always here, I'm always there. And so guess what? You're going to have to sacrifice to give yourself that time to do that thing. So maybe your 5 hours a day or 40 hours a week, however you do it, you may decide, I'm going to make it a 10-hour day. I'm going to fix some stuff around the house. That is the desire that you have. So I want you to be real honest about what it is you desire, and then hire yourself for that position and commit to whatever the task is for that job, right? Whatever the qualification, what you want them to do. what you want yourself to do. So I need to fix the light upstairs. I need to da 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 da. I need to da 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 da. And you can get started on it. And when you finish whatever task you have, and that allotted time, you clock yourself out. Because you don't have to do it consecutively. You have to be intentional. So if you're at work, listen, it's one more day. I want to get them 2 hours back. You'll stay overtime. You may miss lunch. How many people did that? I want to get off an hour early, so I ain't going to eat lunch. I ain't going to clock out at lunch. We know how to play with that time. Same difference. I'm only at 30 hours. I got 2 days left. Oh, I'm going to have to kick up the notch. But it's going to be disciplining yourself, but it's going to create a trustworthy relationship with you and your dreams that is going to ignite the possibilities in your life. You are the possibility. You really are the possibility that you're waiting on. You are the magic that you're hoping for. You are the answer to that thing you want, because God has given you the power to make the decisions, to make the choices, and to be whoever you want to be. Melissa says, I had a meeting with the kids this morning about mommy's new work schedule starting next week. I got to bring hubby in on it tonight. Period. Let him see this, girl. Let him see this, because he may want to do something, because he's so brilliant. And oh my God, his table. Maybe if he just decide to clock into, maybe he did part-time where he can go with you. And then he can do what he loves when he's creating his tables and going live and letting them know they can order. Pre-order your table today. Be a part of the construction of it. That's just him giving himself a part-time job with himself. Because I can tell you that part-time will become a full-time and he'll fire his job. How many people want to fire their job and do what they love? Even though a lot of us work for ourselves, we still want to increase the peace of mind, right? Having balance. Because sometimes you'll find as an entrepreneur, you work more hours than if you went in the clock for somebody else. But you have more skin in the game, right? You have more to gain in your sweat and tears, your sweat, blood, and tears, right? And so that's what it is, gaining that. This is such a brilliant idea. I can't wait to do this with you. I'm down for the challenge. Let me tell you something. My cousin called me today from New York, and he does $1 million houses and doing, learning to leverage what his intellectual property with what he has access to, because what he overstands is his passion, right? And so I thought myself, oh my God, what will I become after 30? I can't wait to see how brilliant it is. I'm right now just imagining what it is that God gave me, but the brilliance in it is going to be our testimonials at the end of 30 days. The brilliance in it is going to be the peace that we create in order to gain the confidence to go into the next month with a new task, to hire ourselves in a different area of our life. That I gave 30 hours to this. I gave 30 days to this. I created a new habit. So I can unconsciously do this now because I am at my forefront. Now I can pick something else. So like I said, pick one thing to love on, to build on. Because if you concentrate on one thing, you can grow it into a big thing. You can multiply it by the cultivation of it, right? So let's not give little bit, so everything in our life is growing like this. And so we're like, oh, nothing is working out because you're spreading yourself too thin. Let's concentrate on the most important thing, the thing we want the most in this world for ourselves, and activate. Get a plan and action to activate by being what? By being intentional. Quality over quantity, period. Hey, Sophie. Hello. I see Melissa was calling them in. Hello, Brittany, if you're still here. But as I'm saying, that's what it's all about. It's about recognizing that to hire ourselves is to say, I'm worth building the dream. I'm going to discipline myself as I have done for so many and for so long, in order to what? In order to get the results that I desire. And so I Hire Myself Challenge is about you choosing yourself at the highest level. It's about you seeing yourself at the highest level. I want you guys to sit down and decide what it is you want to hire yourself for. And as I said before, if you would like to go on the journey with us, you do not have to start on the 21st when I'm starting. I'm starting on Wednesday. That is my personal date to start. You have your own personal time. I want you to email iChooseMeMovement@gmail.com. iChooseMeMovement@gmail.com. And I want you to put in the in the description, I hire myself, and I want to know your start date. What date are you starting? So you have to decide that. Now you can work on whatever date you start. You can clean up whatever loose ends you need to clean up before you start. I don't care what that looks like. That's your business. It ain't mine. So you want to make sure you do that. But what I want you to make sure you do is send me that email, because I will be doing a Zoom private meeting for all of us who are going through the process so that we can encourage one another, so that we can be honest with ourselves, authentic, right? So that I can help soul coach you through those blockages that you have. So by being able to come on and say, listen, I'm having a hard time here, then you have access so that we can work on these things that are stopping you for showing up for you. So this is going to be an investment in yourself, something that will cost hundreds of dollars to be coached by me in a private class, because I'm going through the process right now of seeing what it looks like to hire myself for 30 days. I am welcoming you to go with me on this journey to decide what we need so that at the end we can become the evidence of abracadabra moments that lead us to our magic. Abracadabra moments that lead us to our magic. And so without further ado, we are now going to get to what? We're going to get to the cards. We always have our card for the day. Here we go. So if you have been listening, if you have been participating, if you like and love what you heard and want to join the I Hire Me Challenge, again, I say, let me write in this comment, you can reach out to I Choose Me Movement at gmail.com. Put in message, I hire myself. Come on, y'all. Well, it's just I hire me. Let's keep it simple. I hire me and your start date. So that way I have an email to send your invitation to the Zoom. Okay? And even if you're not starting immediately when I'm starting, you're still welcome to start on the Zoom with us and be a part of the conversation the whole time, okay? So you don't have to wait until you start to be a part of the conversation of encouragement. Sometimes you need to be encouraged by other people's story. That is why it is important for us to be the evidence. That's why it's important for us to remove the shame and get in our lane, because somebody is waiting to hear from you. Somebody wants to know what worked for you so that they can gain the confidence to know that it can work for them too. So at this time, if you don't already know, these are the ABCs of how special I am. You can find this at PreciousPaulin.com. It is a game. It is I just say it is a powerful infection. So right now, let's find what our I am for the day is. If you are, most people I see will be watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, please don't hesitate to write. If you're starting in this comment. Oh, and if you either email me or message me, you can also go in Messenger if you're on Facebook. If you are watching from YouTube, you can email me. But if you are watching from Facebook, please feel free to message me. I hire myself and send me your email. That's no problem too. Anyhow, today, we're asking God right now to touch everybody who has been on this, everybody who has been listening, everybody who has been a part on today, who has heard the message of I hire myself. I pray right now that this I am God that you give us would confirm what it is that we're wanting for our lives, what it is that we're expecting. And so without further ado, what is the I am? The I am for today is I am exceptional. I am exceptional. Do you know what it means to be exceptional? To be exceptional is to be one of a kind. To be exceptional is to stand out in all merits and where and who you are. To be exceptional is to be in position for your masterpiece. And so we must work at being exceptional beings. How does one become exceptional? Come on now. How does one become exceptional? By being very intentional, that's the word, by being very intentional with the hours that we have been given. She was an exceptional dancer because she practiced for hours. Beyonce is an exceptional singer, right? Because of the practice that went into her craft, into her gift, right? And the hours she spent mastering, right? Bill Gates was exceptional at creating an idea that took over the globe, right? Putting computers in your room. That was an exceptional type of thinking that required an exceptional amount of time to produce the conclusion. So I am exceptional is another confirmation that God is in the room. Because in order to be exceptional, you got to clock into you. You got to hire yourself. You got to know the things about yourself that they may not know about you. In order to be exceptional, you have to accept that it requires for you to make a plan to be great, that you have to make a plan to show up, that you have to make a plan. And so being exceptional is the I am for today. Because unless I accept that I have everything I need in order to be great, unless I accept that I must hire myself in order to multiply the infection that is me, unless I accept that I am a one-of-a-kind piece, that the only thing that will multiply me is me being intentional about how I spend my time and how I feed the vessel, the soul that is me. And so I can think of a greater card, a more perfect card. I am exceptional. And so I want you to be exceptional in every area of your life by consciously paying attention to what it is, what it looks like, and showing up in it. And so today, guess what? We got time to sing our song. So we're about to sing a song that is going to what? Magnify how exceptional we are. This is the I Choose Me anthem. If this is your first time tuning in and you've never been on before, we welcome you. I ask you to what? If you would like to sing along in future shows, please message me or email me at ichoosememovement@gmail.com. Let me know you want the words, and you can definitely sing along, honey, because she owns the right. You can't steal it. I am exceptional. That's right. Be exceptional. Come on now, Aunt Karen. That part. I am exceptional. So let me find the song so that we can sing along and that we can, leave this place with the right set of mind, because it's how we show up. It is how we show up. And so we got 5 minutes left. And so we're right on time, y'all. Right on time. So I want you to remember that you decide what your life looks like by how you organize that precious time that God has given you. He's given you 720 hours. Come on now. I'm saying to give yourself 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month for the next 30 days. And I am telling you, This month will be the best month of your life because you'll get to see the results in the places that matter to you, because you would have created a momentum for the things that matter to you. You have done a great job at giving people the things that matter to them, but what would your life look like if you decided to give yourself the thing that mattered to you? What matters most to you? What do you need to hire yourself for? And how can you show up better tomorrow than you did today by knowing and applying this knowledge so that you can affirm how exceptional you have been created to be? Come on. So, without further ado, have you ever found out? Come on and listen to the words. Where you could be, ever took the time to discover what lies inside thee, all the treasures you were born with. The world needs to see. It will give you. Yes, Melissa's starting on Monday. If you're watching the replay, please let me know when you're starting. Come on now, let me know that I'm hiring myself, and this is my start date. If we can't commit to a start date, then we're never gonna get to the conclusion, right? William Brown said on Sunday, he said he's going on his 200th episode. You know why? Because he started. I'm going on 4 years in sharing the movement. 8 years on a dream now. 8 years ago, I dreamed it. 4 years I've been walking in it. Because I started. Your sound went out? Is the sound out for everybody? Was one of a kind. If you never bring your gift, then what would you find? I choose me. No more excuses. I choose me. Maybe go out on Karen and come back in. I don't think it's going. Is it go out for everybody else? Oh, Melissa still hears it, so it might just be your phone. Come on now. Would only bring joy, only to discover that. Come on now. The pain brings you more of those questions answered. So what makes me great? When I learn to digest, come on now, the good and bad on my plate. I choose me. No more excuses. I'm enough. I choose me. More than worthy. I choose me. I own my stuff. The secret is knowing that through all these things, after pain comes triumph. When you stay in your lane, you realize the lessons was blessed on the journey to you. The journey to you, because your purpose was found in the things you went through. I choose. Come on now. No more excuses. I'm enough. Everybody's saying no excuses now, right? Come on. I've been saying no more excuses, baby. The gift is your story. It's the shape of your mold. When you reach your purpose, a purpose, a message of inspiration is to your purpose, honey. Love goes everything. And all that you do. And all that you do. In order to give it out. It must first be in you. Your dreams will be fulfilled. When you choose to walk in your light. Come on now, Ann. The love that's inside will be the fuel for your flight. I choose me. No more excuses. I choose me. I'm enough. I choose me. More than worthy. I choose me. I own my stuff. And that is the name of the game. When you come to I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses, what I want you to do is own your stuff, because ownership is what allows you to see the value, what you have paid, the cost so that you can show up in the beauty that is you, so that you can know that everything that you get, you deserve because you already paid for it. You paid for it in your time, you paid for it in your mind, and now it's time for you to get a return on the investment of what it is that you have gotten all this time. So, as I say, if you would like to sow back into me, I would be giving my gift of this service by not offering you the opportunity to support the seeds that allow me to keep on going, the feed, the fire that you feed so that I can keep on pushing. Please go to preciouspaulin.com and you can find some abracadabra tools. Imagine having an I am for every day you woke up to set the intention in your mindset so that you can realize that it all starts with here in the way you think about yourself, the way you think about what you've been through. 365 days of loving yourself to life will transport you into a better relationship with yourself. And so that is an investment that you can get a return on, because we have to start changing our minds. God said to renew your mind. So in order for you to walk in the I am exceptional, you got to think different. You got to first think, see yourself, know that you are exceptional in order for you to point out the exceptional parts of yourself. And so know who you are. Get the tools that are going to drive you into the successful relationship with yourself in order to what? Become your magic. Those abracadabra moments. I'm telling you, it's so important. I love you so much, sis. You are such a generous woman with your time and spirit. Thank you. It is my honor to make sure that I am using my time wisely, because when it's all said and done, I want you guys to say she left an incredible soul print, because we all know that the fingerprint will tell us what we got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what we got right. And so it's time for us to turn that heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave these soul prints. It's time for us to recognize it is a relay race and somebody is relying on us. And so how you show up is the name of the game. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are past our hour mark. You have been watching the Become Your Magic Power Hour with yours truly, the queen of soul stirring inspiration, the prophetic poet, the soul coach, you name it. I am so many things because I first was everything to myself. And so I want you to learn how to invest your time with you so that you can tap into the treasures that God is waiting for you to get a return on. So many pains that you were meant to turn into power are sitting in the reservoir of your soul. It is time to soul stir you so that you can become one, and so those ingredients can be served to the world. And so I thank you for tuning in as always. I love you, love you, love you. As Melissa says, honey, she is my #1 brand ambassador. Time to flip your switches, and she is right where we're about to end. You can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility to turn those low moments into mountaintop experiences, because you are exceptional. And so remember, I choose me. Hashtag no more excuses, because you were born enough. Please share. Sharing is caring. If you can't sow a financial seed, please sow a gift of just sharing the message in order for somebody else to gain access to a tool that can help them grow into their best selves. Let's stop looking at people show up and let's start getting in the game. Let's start being a part of the solutions. Let's start lighting up this world one moment at a time. Become your magic. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12. Love, love, love you. And once again, thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in to you, because this is about how you show up for you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to tell yourself, I am exceptional all day, all day.